Sudan. It is the largest country by area in Africa. It is a region with rich oil and mineral wealth. It is a farming export house. Some say it could single-handedly feed all of Africa and the Arab world. But conflicts after conflicts have overshadowed Sudan's potential of becoming an economic powerhouse. It has long been neglected by the world as well. The people have seen on and off war since the 1980s. So, how is the 2023 conflict any different? In simple words, it is not. It is yet another power struggle. This time, it is between the Sudanese army and a paramilitary unit. These are groups led by men who used to be allies. Two generals at the heart of the conflict are Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and Mohammed Dagalo. These two have sent their representatives to Saudi Arabia at the moment for ceasefire talks. Now, even before the meeting started, the Sudanese army made it absolutely clear that these are not peace talks. It is only meant to open humanitarian corridors for evacuees. The talks are ongoing as we speak, but a Saudi official has already quashed any hope left. No major progress has been made so far, and the goal is to come up with a timetable for expanded negotiations, and then that will hopefully reach a permanent end to hostilities. The two major countries bringing the warring sides are US and Saudi Arabia. But clearly, the mediation is not going well. The two sides have decided to talk, but not for peace. In fact, experts say the two generals have no intentions to end the fighting at all. A permanent ceasefire is not even on the table. Sudan is looking like another failure for Washington. China, on the other hand, is acing at being a peacemaker in Iran. Russia has helped Syria emerge at the global stage again, and US, well, it is failing. Before bringing peace to the country, Washington needs to first convince both parties in Sudan that peace is even an option. It is a power struggle with the people caught in between. It is a tug of war for the country, for its wealth, and for the top seat. Shelters out of sticks and pieces of fabric have become common on the outskirts. The United Nations Refugee Agency are distributing food, water, buckets, blankets and mats. But they are not enough for the people. The fighting has turned the humanitarian situation on its head. To put the conflict in numbers for you, at least 700 people have been killed, mostly civilians. 100,000 have fled the country as of now. The UNHCR expects 860,000 in total to flee as refugees. 2.5 million have been plunged into a food insecurity situation. 19 million will need aid to avoid a grave famine. And 17,000 metric tons of food aid has been looted in fighting. It is a war to attain power, but it's the people who are being deemed powerless each passing day. For more on the current situation in Sudan and the lack of peace, we are now being joined by Bastian Massa, a journalist who is focusing on the current situation in Sudan. And he's joining us live from Paris. Welcome to the broadcast, Bastian.
Good evening. Thanks for receiving me.
Bastian, what's causing the conflict to continue? Should it be seen as a failure of the US and other world powers who are unable to broker peace, or is it something else?
Of course, there is a failure of all the international actors and the international community, the US, but also Saudi and Arab world, Arab countries and the Western countries. They have been unable to find what could lead both sides to stop their war. We have to mention that none of the two generals fighting right now is ready to give up, because they both have a chance. If we look at the military objective, or what kind of zone and control area in the capital city Khartoum, none of them is ready to give up. And they have been pledging a ceasefire for the last 3 weeks, and all the time they didn't respect, even for 1 hour, the ceasefire. So they all know that the fighting ongoing in Khartoum is essential, and the control of Khartoum is essential for their own political future or personal future.
Yes.
So none of these two men is ready to give up right now. But the international community has not still find the way to bring them to a real ceasefire, a real truce. And that's was a big question right now: how to make them find interest in peace, in a lasting peace.
Bastian, also, we need to look at it in a slightly larger aspect as well. What's the larger impact on Africa on the whole because of the ongoing conflict? We already know on the numbers we've just read, they talk about a grave refugee crisis which is going on as of now and is going to get worse. What will be the larger impact on Africa?
Yeah, you mentioned the refugee crisis that will be created by this conflict in Sudan. And right now, if you take humanitarian assistance, WFP just declares that they had not enough money or funds to provide assistance even before the start of the conflict. So now with all these new refugees that will flee to Chad, to Egypt or to South Sudan, we will need a lot of money and a lot of NGOs and humanitarian aid on the ground. On a geopolitical point of view, the main factor is time. So far, other countries have not been really involved except Libya and Egypt, but they remain quite with a distance because they don't want to be fully involved in this conflict. But the more this conflict lasts in the time, the more like other countries will be involved and will be also destabilized by this conflict.
Right. So the longer it goes on, the more it will destabilize the entire region. So a ceasefire needs to be attained, it needs to be respected, and peace needs to be reached at the earliest. Thank you so much for joining in, Bastian. That was Bastian Massa, who's a journalist joining in from Paris.
Thanks a lot.